All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Little login challenge. Everything needed to be reset for some reason. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So today what I wanted to do is I wanted you to tell me what business you're in. That's the training today. What business are you in? So if somebody were to say to you, hey, what do you do? What would be your response? Anybody like to go first? Anybody like to?
I'm in the I'm in the money business.
Awesome. What do you do?
I create money.
Oh, so you're a counterfeiter.
No.
Okay.
So well, I mean, um,
I got.
I'm I'm not gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm curious to find out how would you define this. So I do trading
Yep.
on the market. I trade gold, so I do asset management. I have an online exchange business for cryptocurrency,
Yep.
and I own equities in two business. Actually, just right now, 5 minutes ago, I wrapped up a meeting for construction housing cleaning. So when they finish a job
Mm-hmm.
and they need to clean the apartments for the potential buyers to come in, I'm going to be financing people that are going to clean the apartments for
Awesome.
25% gain.
So what might be a more valuable statement is, you know how a lot of people got to work for money.
Yep. Oh yeah, I see.
I teach
My
people
money.
I teach people how to make money work for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That I knew that. I just didn't think of it immediately. But
I teach people how to make money work for them and maintain profit, because people will translate that. Oh, well, I've invested in stuff and it's not worked. Oh, I get it.
yeah.
Listen, people invest all the time and it doesn't work because they don't know how to make money work for them. They invest and still think they got to work for money. Oh, well, I want to do that. Great. What kind of value would teaching your money to work for you? What kind of value would that bring to you? And now what you're doing is you're clarifying, qualifying. Do they qualify for the conversation? Because if they just want to be, if well, I just want to put my listen. You can go put money into government bonds and make 2%.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. You could do that, and if you don't have that already, you should have that. I'm looking at returns of anywhere 10, 15, 20, 30, 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would
That's
that
that's
go ahead?
that's actually pretty much what I got locked in. So in the restaurant business, I lended them 5K for a return of 7. It's a fixed return.
Yep.
Then this meeting I took this morning, it's 25% off of the profit base,
Awesome.
and I'm not included in the cost. I'm not included in the taxes or whatever. It's what they make. 25% goes to me, and then they take care of the rest. So
Right.
I mean, so plus my principal.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So those are high numbers, and there's risk involved for sure. So when somebody says, "Oh wow, I would love to do that," well, great. What's your pain to risk ratio? And what you'll have is you'll have a conversation. You'll finally have a conversation with people who either have no clue, and they can either pay you to learn this, because you could tell everybody everything that you're about to do. You could tell everybody, I you can go look for this, and this. They're going to lose their shirt. I would hope they wouldn't lose their shirt, but they're going to, because you can give them all you got. They just don't have your experience. So there's no reason to. Mark Victor Hansen said, give them everything you got, because the thing they don't have that they need is you. And that's what they'll pay for.
You know, one thing I want to say to you after our conversation last night, I went for my walk and I was just thinking about stuff. So this is a little bit off topic, so I'm gonna wrap it up quickly.
It's not off
I was
topic.
thinking about some stuff, and I was thinking how just purely happy I was, and I am, because I was out there. I made peace with the guy. You called me. We talked for about 10, 15 minutes. I let you see I showed you the owners. Finally, I showed you the place. I'm going to take some pictures today during the day so you can see how it looks like during the day as well. And then as I was walking, I was picturing my trip in October. I was thinking about all the places I could visit and so on and so forth. And I was just walking there, and I was just feeling so happy and grateful for the place I'm in right now. So I want to say thank you for contributing to my joy.
You are welcome. The bigger question is, when did this exist?
Oh, it always existed.
Right. And that's the key. And so if that's the key, that it always existed, the next level of joy you're about to experience, does that not already exist?
It does.
So then what's the requirement to gain access to that next level of joy?
Just become aware, I guess.
Well, awareness is good, right? There's a difference. How do you avoid getting bit by a snake? Well, I saw it and then it bit me. You're going to have to move.
Yeah.
And the move is from this state of peace to an unknown higher state of peace, to an unknown higher state of joy. And well, wait a minute. This is pretty nice right here. I'm sitting at the beach. I'm at the spa. I'm getting a massage. This is pretty nice. What's better than this? How can it get any better than this? Oh, this is just the beginning. You have personally scratched the surface. Most people have not even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And so in your awareness, so what, you know that phrase, with great power becomes great responsibility. So now the conversations begin to shift of seeking out, finding those, right? Kyle Wilson would tell me, find an audience, talk to them, give them a chance to raise their hand. Your next level is to have people, give people a chance to raise their hand. How do you offer what you do? How do you share what you do without bragging about it, talking about it, or making other people feel uncomfortable about it? How do you have a conversation with people where they go, I want some of that. I want some of that. Awesome. And then you clarify, qualify, create expectation. And that's what you did with the guy last night. That could turn out to be one of the most powerful, profitable relationships, where a few hours earlier it was like, I don't care. I don't care if I ever see his shadow again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I love it. So what's your biggest lesson? What's your biggest awareness that 9 months ago you weren't here and now you're here? What's your biggest awareness?
Oh, I would say that I understand now. It's really, okay, let me put it this way. Initially, all of this talk about the game, how do you address people? How do you understand people and events and circumstances? Initially, it sounds so difficult and so hard to handle. However, you come to realize that it is a fine line, just as you showed me yesterday, what could I've said to him versus what I did.
Right.
And then on top of that, just changing one or two words in the sentence makes a complete different outlook on the thing. So it is really a fine line. However, when you are in signal, it just comes natural. And then we go back to the conversation we had a couple of days ago when you asked us, how do you naturally do the things that you need to do? And I was like, oh, okay. So this is, instead of me thinking about those things and trying to pay attention to it from a standpoint of me thinking it's like a chore or something that I have to be aware of, but in a bad way. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Aware of, but kind of being careful about it versus just accepting that and just doing it naturally. So I would say that's the biggest thing for me that changed.
And I love that, and that is the big change. And what you've gone through and what everybody has to go through, what I went through, is you got to go through the trial and error. You've got to go through the okay, I'm going to do things differently. Wow, that was a train wreck. Or wow, that worked. I don't know how to do that again. So I got to try it again, right? It's kind of like when you're shooting a pistol and you hit the target where you were aiming. You're like, I don't even know what I was doing. I don't know where I was looking. Right? Your subconscious took over and you hit the target. Or if you throw a piece of wadded up paper and you throw it at the trash can and you hit it and you're like, well, you were shooting to make it. But it even surprises us when we hit our target. So this is where we have to do it over and over and over and over again. So I'll ask you now, what do you do for a living? How do you make money? What do you do, AJ?
I help people employ their money.
Okay, so most people don't want help. Ask them a question. You know how people wish their money worked harder for them? You want to ask a question that doesn't make you the focus. You want to ask a question that allows them to not get into a debate with you, not to pull a protection trigger, right? You don't want them to pull a protection lever. Oh, I don't need your help. Do you know how a lot of people work for money? And then there's some people who are lucky enough to get their money to work for them. And you let them run a story in their head. So they're not defensive. You're opening them up and they say, yeah, I know that. Well, what I do is I offer people a way to have their money work harder for them and do it profitably. Ooh, how do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask?
Yeah. So, the only reason why I said I'm in the money business is because it sounds cool.
It is. Yeah. You know how people, cool. So then what you could say is, you know how people wish they could find somebody in the money business? And when they find that person, they can truly show them how to make their money work for them. Oh, yes. That's what I do. Oh, really? How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? So whatever it is that you do, you want to create the question that you want to ask the question that in their head, they're going, yes, I want that. And then you become the answer to it. Because the brain is looking for two things. Will it kill me, or how fast can it recognize a pattern? It understands the pattern, but it has never recognized it because it doesn't know what to look for. It doesn't know who to look for. You know, people in today's economy would love to find somebody who could truly teach them how to make their money work for them, create profit, and allow them to sleep easy at night. Oh my God, yes, that's what I do. Really? Yeah. But if you say what I do is I'm in the money business, and they go, oh great, now I'm gonna get snookered. I'm gonna get taken. He's too young to be in the money business.
He's gonna sell me something.
Yeah. So let them buy. People hate to be sold. I'm in this. That's selling. Do you know how people wish they could find somebody who could teach them how to make their money truly work for them? You know how most people go to work every day and they this, that, and the other, and they never seem to have enough money because they're working for money? You know, there's some people out there in the money business who teach people how to put their money to work, truly put their money to work and create profit. That's the key. There's a lot of people who can teach you how to put your money to work and then you lose your money.
Yeah.
I bet you're looking for somebody. Well, would you be looking for somebody who could teach you how to put your money to work and create a profit? I'm talking a little bit more than 5, 10%, maybe 15, 20%. Oh my God, yes, all day long. Awesome. That's what I do. And I've been doing it for the last half decade. Half decade.
All day, baby. Thank you.
Half decade sounds longer than 5 years.
That's true.
So practice that in the car while you're driving. Practice that. What do I do? What do you do? Well, it's funny. I get asked that a lot as a young entrepreneur. You can add all these little touches in. You can add all the things that are specific to your language in. I get asked that because when I'm sitting at the lake at 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day having a conversation, people come up to me and they ask, "What do you do?" And I ask them a simple question. Is it okay if I ask you a question? Yeah, because now there's intrigue. Now there's novelty. Nobody's answered that. Everybody's got a title to their response. I'm a broker. I'm a stock trader. I'm a crypto advisor. I'm a crypto exchange, blah, blah, blah. I invest in small businesses. All of that's out of their league. Hey, I'm curious.
Yeah, they
What
can't
do you
even
do?
see that.
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you do? Somebody who's usually sitting at the lake by myself every day. I get asked that question a lot by a lot of powerful people. What you're doing is when somebody asks you the question, what do you do? You want to subconsciously give them credibility that they're in a particular league, they're in a particular group of successful individuals who have the courage to ask you what you do without blowing smoke up their skirt. I get asked that a lot by pretty cool people. Now, all of a sudden, their subconscious goes, "Oh, they just said I'm cool. I asked a good question. I feel good. I asked a good question. I'm in a good group." This is all happening unconsciously.
Yeah, they think they're in good
Exactly.
company.
And that rather than I'm in the money business. Oh shit. Yeah, now great. Now I'm gonna lose my money. Where's my wallet? I gotta protect my wallet. So
Makes sense.
the key is from the very beginning, how do we activate a profit lever versus a protection lever? And what you'll find is people will be more interested. And your goal is that they have to sell you on wanting you to sell them. I don't want to spend 1 second with somebody if they're not interested. The challenge is that if I don't ask enough questions to find out their level of interest, I could be walking away from a great relationship. I want to get to the point to where I say, "Wow, isn't that fascinating? Anything else before I go?" I'm looking for a reason to leave the conversation. They have to sell me on taking my time. Oh man, I would love to do that. What would be the first thing you would do if you found somebody like that, something like that? So now they're teaching you how to sell them. If I found somebody like that, I would put $100 with them. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you they're not going to be excited about helping you make money on $100. There's ways you can make money on $100. So why don't I do that? So when I was building my businesses and I would find somebody's commitment level, if I did the introduction, if I did the presentation, the conversation, if I did the dialogue with them and they didn't meet my criteria, I would let other team members sponsor them. There's no reason. I'm not going to work that hard with somebody that I got to drag through the mud. So you want to find the people, you want to sift them and sort them. And that's just paying it forward. So if there's other people you have that are in the money business, you could say, "You know what? I need to make an introduction. I need to introduce you to my friend Petrov because he would love to have a conversation with you to teach you how to make that $100 make more money." Well, what do you do? Well, I work with bigger investors. I work with people who are serious about truly understanding the leverage of money, the cost of money, and the cost of leverage. Oh, well, I want to do that. Well, then you should probably buy my book for $29.95. In there, you can get a lot of information. And you send them a digital copy of your book.
I notice how people are very insecure with money. Just for
Totally.
instance, I was thinking about my trip last night, so I went on Airbnb just to see roughly how much stuff costs. And by the way, I was shocked how cheap America is compared to Europe, actually. And I was kind of planning this trip, and I one of my message one of my friends messaged me saying, hey, what's up? And I said, I'm just planning on the itinerary for the trip. And he's like, okay. And I said, I can't believe how cheap it is compared to Europe. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I found a flat in Miami, downtown Miami, on this trip for like $300 for 5 days. I found an apartment in Dallas, apartment in New York City, apartment in California, stuff like that. He's like, well, yeah, but it's $500 for 10 days. And I said, yes. Do you have an idea how much would 10 days cost you in Paris or Amsterdam or Munich or whatever? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, then I actually realized that he doesn't really travel that much. He hasn't traveled at all, probably, apart from the school field trips. And I said, oh, yeah, they really don't see it. I mean, they do not see it. So I was like, okay, that's interesting.
This just popped into my head. One of the things you could do, part of your trainings, is part of your filter to see who's ready is one about trips around, or where have they traveled outside of their country. The other thing is to teach your friends, hey, listen, I want you to imagine you needed to go to Paris next week. I want you to go look on Airbnb, and I want you to see what it would cost just for the room. And then I want you to ask yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing, would I ever be able to afford that? Because my goal is to make sure my friends can go where I want, when I want, for as long as we want. And you may inspire some people to want to do business with you. But the reason they can't do business with you is because their dream is too small. Right? Your dream, listen, you need to be telling this story, or for sure remembering this story, but I would encourage you to tell the story. Listen, since April, my life has really been on a skyrocket ride. But here's what I will tell you. One of the things that's critical is that back in February, I was denied my visa, and I was going to put it off till the next year. I'll see you next year was your statement. My question to my friends would be, how many of you are putting off your success till next year? How many of you are not getting your visa to go to your dreamland, and you're waiting till next year? Because you know what'll happen next year? Next year will come, and you'll be 80 years old, and you'll be dead, and you'll go, I should have done it when I was younger. So, people who are just wishing they could go travel, I teach them how to do that in this lifetime.
Your Honor, you mentioned the statement produced by the witness. The witness has no recollection of that statement.
Well, we'll go back to the recordings. Here it was on February 3rd, pissed off, going, "Here, I was so mad."
The witness does not have recollection of that moment.
It's okay. Temporary loss of memory doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Sure does in my book. Yeah, I get it.
Michelle and I were talking about that yesterday, day before, about how you went and then how you went back. And they didn't even ask me any questions. They said, you're approved. That's because you went with the intention. So, yeah. So, listen, all of these could be the businesses that you are. Do you know how a lot of people wish they could travel? And the only thing keeping them from traveling is understanding how to leverage money? Yeah. What I do is I show people how to take the trips of their life whether it's internationally, whether it's here at home, but take the trips and arrive at the financial destination, the health destination, the wellness destination, the society destination that they want to arrive at. You may remember me talking about it, but I used to walk around with a clipboard that had all the 5 pillars. And I would hand it to somebody in a mall, and I would say, if you could only work on 2 of these, which 2 would you work on? Finance was always one of the picks. Finance and health, finance and family, finance and mind, finance and this. So it's always people think they need more money. The challenge is they can't have any more money till that other pillar is addressed. Money is not the solution. The money is available to everyone. There is not a single person on this planet that can't get resources, period, end of story. So it is not money you want. It is not the money that's going to fix your mind, fix your family, fix your relationship, fix your wellness. It is the shift in the mind of that pillar that you think you want more of. It's a relationship with money. It's a relationship with time. It's a relationship with fill in the blank. And when that relationship gets repaired, the money flows in effortlessly. Effortlessly, like water from a pipe. When you open the valve, there's an abundant amount of water in that pipe. There's an abundant amount of success in that pipe. We just don't open it. And the way we open it is through our words.
You know what was and still is one of the biggest shifts I've seen. I've seen it multiple times in my life already. However, it was the first time that I've seen it with you. I'm not gonna go into details because I'm sure that you recollect. You have recollection of these events because it was a private conversation between me and you. But you remember when the bill came when we were in at the Mexican place, the conversation we had?
Yes.
That's it right there. And all of the things I'm currently doing, so the restaurant business, this business that we struck a deal on this morning, all of this connects to that. And that was one of the biggest things. I said to myself, wow, man, I heard about this. I've seen it with other people. But this time it was special because it was you. And it was you telling me that, kind of just whispering it to my ear. And you told me that. And I said, oh, wow. So this is really how it works. And I want to do that. So all of these things, me being the investor out there, me going to a business meeting at 24 years old, being the silent partner. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Even my friend right now, he's in his 40s, pushing 40. And
yeah, I got you pushing. I got you pushing 40.
And we just struck a deal, and he said, hold on a second, because this is just guys talk, and we don't know each other age or birthday or whatever. So he said, how young are you once again? And I said, I'm 24. He was smoking a cigarette, and he was holding it like this, and he was like, God damn. He took a puff. And I said, yeah, that's how it is. So yeah. That's great. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm about to hop off to IKEA because I broke my bed last night and I kind of slept tilted to the side, so I gotta pick up the new bed here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy. Who's next? Want to throw out, what do you do? Who's next? Or what did you learn from that conversation?
I will be next.
Okay, excellent.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Silka.
How are you feeling?
Outstanding.
Are you going to the wedding today?
No.
No?
No, wasn't invited.
Seriously?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I asked.
That's all right. No, it's awesome.
Well,
I love it. I wish them great joy.
Yes, I do too. I wasn't invited either. So. But Curtis was.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Okay. What do I tell people what I do?
Yep.
I tell them I help quality people worldwide achieve a lifestyle of joy and wealth?
So how would you turn that into a question rather than a statement? How do you create a question? The brain operates at a much higher level when it's dealing with a question because it feels it has to go find the solution. If you give it knowledge, it immediately drops it into a basket that says, oh, this is one of those things. Oh, you're one of those people. Oh, I don't need this. So the brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, or how fast could I recognize the pattern? And if we give them content, they put it into a bucket that is never the bucket we intended to go into. If we ask a question, there is no bucket for the question we're about to ask them. So their brain needs an answer, and they want to ask, how do you do that? If you tell them, I do this and this and this, there is no how. There is no mystery. There's no intrigue. So take what you just said, and how do you turn it into a question?
That's a good question. I don't
So,
know.
do you know how people wish do you know how some people, right? So now what you've done is you've made it a really sophisticated group. Do you know how there's a certain group of people out there, certain group makes it a little bit unique, a little bit question, a little bit prestige. Do you know there's a certain group of people who wish they could travel on a global scale at the drop of a hat, yet think life is too difficult and they never have enough time to do that, yet they wish they could? Oh my gosh, yeah, you want somebody to take that story and go, that's me, without you going, is this you? So how do you create that? How do you create a question? Do you know how people wish there was a way, if they could find that secret link on the internet that would offer them global travel at an unbelievable price, that every time they went online, they said, we got to take this trip. We got to go on this trip. This is an amazing trip. This would be ridiculous not to do. Yes.
So
Go ahead.
this is through travel, but that's the vehicle. So I don't want to put off people that don't travel, because
Awesome.
then they automatically, I don't travel. Well, you don't have to travel to build a business and create wealth. That's why I did not put travel in my answer.
Okay, so read it to me again, what you said.
Okay, I help quality people because I don't want
Right.
Garbage. I help quality people worldwide achieve a lifestyle of joy and wealth.
Okay. Do you know how people...
That could include anybody and everybody. They don't need to leave their home even.
Right.
Because there's so many, and I have seen this of the questions I have sent out.
Yep.
That people say, I'm not ready to travel right now. I won't travel till next year. Well, do you want to earn? You don't have to travel to earn.
Right.
And that's why I rephrased this, so it's not automatically the person's brain trigger. I don't travel.
Okay, so here's what you would say.
It shuts right off.
Do you know how people wish? You know how people wish they could have more joy and peace from their wealth?
Okay.
Do you know how people wish they could have absolutely more joy, more peace, more free time from their wealth?
I'm writing this. That's why I'm not answering you. They could have more joy. More joy.
Who want more joy from their wealth?
No, you said, do you know how people wish they could have more joy?
Yeah. More joy and happiness from their wealth.
Happiness from their wealth.
That's what I do.
But then people think, oh, I'm not included.
I don't know what they think. I know exactly what they think. But if you go with that signal of, well, I know what they're going to say, I promise you, they will say what you think they're going to say. That's the power of signal.
Oh my God, you are so right. Yes.
That's exactly what, well, they're going to say this and they'll be damned if they don't say that. See, this didn't work for me. Well, no, of course it doesn't, because your signal says that's the response. You don't allow them you don't allow yourself to be surprised. I want to be surprised.
I allow myself to be negatively surprised.
Yep.
No,
And
no,
never
I-
disappointed.
And this is a bad place to be.
Right.
Yeah, because I was always totally on the other side. Yes, this is going to work. Yes, this person is going to say yes, and that. Now I'm like, oh, they're not going to say yes anyway.
But I want to ask so I can check the box and say I'm doing the work.
So I can, yeah. So I can say next. Yes. So how do I shift that?
Well,
Like-
part of it is, again, you got to go sit with Lola Bean every time. I don't care if you have Lola Bean in your lap when you do this.
She does not stay in my lap unless there's other dogs or people around.
Okay, well then go get another dog so she has to sit in your lap.
Very interesting dog. That's very funny. Like she will like stay right on my lap and never move if there's another dog or another person, unless it's like, my daughter. Or,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the key is
She's very strange, but what I can do for hours, and she likes to lay on her back and have her tummy rubbed. That she loves to do for hours. I don't love to do that for hours.
well, so the key is to do something. Is there a favorite song you have? Is there something that makes you tap your toes, shake your hips? Joseph McClendon would say, assitude, shake your hips, get up and do some dancing, get up and do some movement. I don't care if it's 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be for 30 minutes. It's 30 seconds. Shift your state, physiology, focus, language, and meaning. Change your physiology, change your focus, saying, I'm going to offer somebody a chance to go on their dream trip. Imagine somebody that went on a dream trip. You probably have some experiences where people went, I would have never went on this trip without you. I would have never had this without you. I would have never learned my German. I came back from Germany. And I could actually understand them. Thank you. You've got to go to your evidence log. This is why the evidence log is so important. This is why, to change your state, you say, hey, listen, you just send out hearts. Take the heart emoji and send that out to people in your phone list. Doesn't have to be words, doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to be, okay, so what am I going to say to that? No, you just want to shift your state. It's kind of like running out of the rain. You don't care where, you just get under cover. You don't care where your energy gets excited, just go do it.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. Do you know how quality people would love to be able to have more joy and happiness from their wealth? Oh my God, yes. That's what I do. How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? And then they have to sell you. The reason people say no is because they get enough information to log it into their brain that goes, oh, this is like that. It is like nothing like that. And then we get frustrated because it's nothing like what they just said they're saying no to. And we're like, why don't they get it? They don't get it because we don't make them want to get it. If they don't get it, it's because they already got something that is not what we have. That's why they can't get it. They already grabbed onto something that is not us, is not what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
many people are like that.
yes. So if
So
everybody's,
I didn't just say, that's why I don't just want to say people, because I want to say quality people, because then that person has to rank up in their head.
Yep.
Oh, I'm a quality person. Are you saying I'm not a quality person?
so you
because-
you can have fun with it. You know how super excited people really want to get more joy and happiness from their wealth,
I'm super excited people.
right? Do you know how sophisticated people are always looking for ways to get more joy out of their wealth?
Oh, that's good.
Right.
I like it. And then how do I follow it up?
Well, they go, well, yeah. How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? And well, I'd like to do that. Which part of your wealth is not giving you joy? Well, I don't have any wealth. So would it be fair to
You don't
say,
qualify.
right, would it be fair to say then that we need to focus on, we need to have a dialogue, right? We need to have because whenever I use language, I'm looking at how to always include them. Dialogue means two people having a conversation, not a monologue. Well, I have a presentation. You should give me 30 minutes. Oh, hell, it's one of those things. My goal is to get them to a point to where they literally say yes, and they don't even know what it is. They know, the only thing they know is that if I say yes to you, you're going to get me the thing I dream of. They don't know I've had people all the time sign up and they're like, so this is network marketing? I said, yeah, you've never been exposed to the professional side of it, have you? No. Was this okay, this conversation? Yes. I wish they'd have told me this 20 years ago. Yeah, I wish they would have too. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because now we get to work together. There is no embarrassment that it's one of those things. It's network marketing. What I found is that if they truly understood under the hood, the engine of this industry under the hood, everybody would be in it. The challenge is that when they lift the hood, they see a squirrel in a cage and they're going, this isn't going to take me anywhere. And they have this assumption that all it is throwing money in it. All it is I got to buy you lunch. I got to buy you dinner. I got to go to meetings. It's all of that. The reason that you don't want to do it is because nobody's taught you how to leverage it for success. And
Yes.
you have this intention that it's going to be this crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Well, I can tell you what you're doing is crazy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If every day you wake up wanting more with this world of abundance that we live in, how could you wake up wanting more? It's just you haven't figured out how to have the more show up for you.
And now the more is here, and you make an argument you have no money for the more.
Right. Well, listen, my question is what are you going to spend money on that could get you to this?
Right.
In the next 30 days, who's going to work with you? Who's going to ask you? How many times in the last 6 months have you been asked this question? Do you want more joy from your wealth? Nobody. Would it be fair to say then that I'm quite unique? And wouldn't you want to work with somebody who understands how to get more joy from your wealth than people who have never asked you?
Yeah, because most people, not most, but maybe many that are very wealthy have maybe very little joy, because that's all they do is work. Because people who are wealthy, they do work.
Yep.
Unless they got lucky with some Bitcoin investment or something. But yes, I mean, I see people that are billionaires and close to billionaires. They work every day.
Absolutely. And there's never a point where we don't want more.
No, they always want more. There's never a point that they don't want more. I have never heard any of them say, I don't want more. There's always, what other opportunity can bring me more? What else can I do to accumulate more wealth?
Yep.
Yes. So when people tell me I don't need more, it's like, well, you're not giving enough then if you don't need more, because people who have billions, they want more. Always.
So the conversation, so you might also use, if you can pick up on somebody's radar and where they might be, what'll happen is as you start to ask the question or use more questions, your signal will pick up on their signal, and you will literally be given the question to ask them to gain their interest. That's why when you say to me, oh my God, how are you so good at this? I'm literally listening to their signal, or to the signal of somebody I've never even met, but their signal exists, to ask a question that triggers their signal. So as you start to do this, you could say, do you know how people who have a lot always want more? They just want more of whatever it is, the fun in their life, the joy in their life, the wonder in their life. I teach people who are in the beginning stages of that, how to make that happen.
Yeah, and then some people have the mindset of, well, they're just greedy.
Yeah, but if you keep coming up with the negative, you're always going to find the negative, Silke. Okay. I'm going to ask you to stay in abundance. The reason they're showing up is because you have that signal that, yeah, but then there's going to be people. I don't find those people. I know they exist, but I don't even offer them that. You cannot say your negative crap to me if you're a prospect. If you're somebody in my world, you do not show up with any negative. You just don't. My signal is so powerful. People have said to me, my God, I've never even heard myself say that. I know, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Because you cannot listen. If I'm playing oldies, 60s music, 70s music, 80s rock, you can't show up with your heavy metal rap crap. You just won't be heard. So I'm always, and this is where if I could open your energies and just pour this in, the state with which you show up is the vibration that you will get back. Period. End of story. Well, I'm excited. Their response is equal to your output. That's why you guys all giggle when you ask me. I'm not even going to ask him, how are you? Outstanding. And you all giggle because that literally overpowers your state. And some of you giggle before you even say it because your signal is like, okay, this is what's going to happen in about the next 3 seconds. Sean, how are you today? Outstanding. I'm so glad to hear you're outstanding. And we smile. You can't show up with your crap in my world. Because I'll say, well, isn't that fascinating? And you're like, okay. Or if I'm about to come give you a little nudge on the shoulder, you know I love you, right? Here he comes. So when you ask these questions, your goal is to absolutely nobody. You are balancing on a pin. You are spinning like a ballerina on your tiptoe. Nobody can knock you over. You don't get close enough. You can't even begin to take away my joy. That's the state I want you in. That's the state. Now listen, it's okay to be in the state of a mother protecting her cub, a dad protecting his kid. There were times in the beginning where I didn't have Mason, I didn't have Michelle in the state that in the relationship that we had. We were just dating when I first started network marketing. But there was a point to where you are not crossing this line. I will kill you. I had to be in such a state that you could not take me out of my joy. I had to fight to stay in my joy. And then there was a shift. But I literally, I was Captain Jackhole in the beginning. And then I shifted. The only reason that I could get to the state I'm in now is because I had to go through that. Listen, you're an idiot. Anything else before I go? And I used to say it kind of snarky. Wow, that's an interesting answer. Anything else before I go? Because I don't want to waste my time with you. What do you mean you don't want? Right? It was literally the a-hole takeaway. I was just a big jerk. I was a huge jerk. Listen, you know what? I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Anything else before I go? Well, what do you mean? You don't think I'm worth it? It's not whether I don't think you're worth it. You don't think you're worth it. And I'm not here to convince you. Anything else before I go?
So do you still say that?
Not now. Now I say, do I have your permission to help? No. Anything else before I go? Yes, you have my permission. Awesome. In order to help you see something you've never seen before, because what we just talked about, right? Having more joy from your wealth. You told me you haven't been able to see that. So would it be okay if I share with you new ways to look at it, which will probably do what? Make you a little uncomfortable? Because you're a smart person. You should be getting joy from your wealth. I can promise you getting joy from your wealth is not a big shift. It's the littlest shift. So is it okay if I do have your permission to help you, to make you a little uncomfortable? Yep, great. I love that. Third question, can I take you out of that uncomfortable feeling? Please. Awesome. How would you like to get started? Because I am not presenting to you. You are going to teach me how to help you sign up. I'm not here to present to you. You are going to teach me how you want to get started. I don't care whether it's more information or you just, okay, sign me up. Whatever you're doing, sign me up. Awesome. Why would you want to get signed up? I'm always taking it away. They have to buy this. I am not selling you anything. Well, I want to do what you do. What do you think I do? I'm always asking a clarify, qualify, create expectation.
So you always ask them a question, and how do you ever answer the question?
I do with what they do. I go, that's what we're going to do. They have to give the answer so they can buy the answer. I could sell you, listen, I could get pretty much anyone to sign up in anything. Now, will they stay in? Probably not. But to get somebody to sign up, that's easy to get people to sign up, find their pain, push on their pain, and say, this is going to fix your pain. And then when they get home and realize they're the ones that got to fix their own pain, they quit. Oh, well, I don't want to change my identity. They don't say that. They go, oh, well, this isn't for me. Oh, okay. You don't want to change your identity. Well, you're an idiot. Okay, quit. I used to say that too. I would recommend not to say that.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
so the answer is they have the answer. They know how they want to get started.
they have the answer.
They're the only ones that have the answer. Because if you give them the answer, what do they get to say? Well, that's not my answer. It's close, but it's not my answer.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm writing down. How do you want to get started? You have given that to me before.
Yeah. And they'll go, well, you're going to tell me about your program. Awesome. Which part do you want to hear first? Well, what parts aren't there? Well, there's the income side, there's the wealth creation side, there's the traveling at its fantastic at an insider's discount, right? I would use insiders, not just discount. There's traveling at an insider's price. Which one of those would you like to hear first? Oh, well, traveling at the insider's price. You don't go into that. Where would you like to travel? I'm constantly narrowing it down to find the thing that if they get the answer to that, the only thing they can say is, I got to do this. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. But to travel at a discount, that's easy. Fly coach. I fly coach. Fly the cheap airline. Why don't you fly the cheap airline? Well, I don't like their seats. Why don't do you have access? Could you go someplace where Southwest flies? Oh, I won't fly Southwest. Why? Because they won't let me pick my seat. Okay, so cheap isn't always the answer.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
That's that.
Well, no, that's not true. Hang on. Listen, I know what you mean. Trust me, Silka. I know what you mean. You got to remember, they're hearing it. And if you say you get what you pay for, if your discounted travel, your special insider pricing travel is cheaper than the published public facing price, you just forced in their brain to say, well, it can't be that good. It's cheaper than what everybody else is.
Yeah.
Right?
You are very right. But what I was just thinking.
No, I know. Listen, I love the way your brain works.
Well, I was just thinking because the setup for my business is you can either get in for $20 or $120. Well,
Okay.
$120 gives you the benefits and gives you back the 120 in loyalty points, so you're literally not paying anything. And your insider prices for that are much lower than the $20. But people have in their mind, oh, I'm going to just sign up for the $20. And I tell them it's not comparable at all.
So then don't offer the $20.
Well, they see it when they click on this thing.
Well, so don't
offer it. So this person didn't take my suggestion. This just happened
right.
A couple of days ago. This person did not take my suggestion. They were stuck on taking the $20 one, and then they got angry and upset because what they could see on my platform was the $120 one was huge discounts, where when they opened their platform, they knew they wasn't gonna have the entire range of insider.
Right. So hang on. So here's what you do.
But it was like $7.
Right.
And they got very upset. So what would you say to this person?
So what I would say to somebody, I would say, listen, the amount of return on your money, do you want it to be pennies or do you want it to be dollars? That's what I would ask him. If you're going to buy something, the return you get, do you want it to be just pennies or would you like it to be dollars?
That's a good one.
Awesome. I don't offer the $20 one because it would make no sense. Here's what's going to happen if you get the $20 one. You're going to be mad at me, and I don't even want you to be mad at me. Why would I? So now the question is right? They got to ask the question. The brain is going for the question. Well, if I'm going to be mad at you, why would I be mad at you? I like you. You're going to be mad at me because when you compare apples to oranges, I got all the oranges and you got apples, and you go, well, why don't I have that? Why did I have to spend $20 when if I put the 120 in, I get that back almost immediately?
Yeah.
So would you be mad at me if I said, give me $20, or if we went to lunch someplace and the lunch was free? Which place would you want to go have lunch?
Yeah, because you get the $120 actually literally right back in loyalty points that you can then use.
Right. So, but they don't understand loyalty points, and they think, oh, I got to learn all this. What you want to do is create the big picture. Do you want to spend $20 and get nothing back, or would you like to spend 120 and get it all back?
For a customer, so they didn't. I mean, I showed everything.
Right, but the key. So this is where the challenge is. Right. It's called cognitive bias, and it's called decision overload. They're going into something they think they understand, even if they've done a consumer price or network marketing before, or been a travel customer before. They're going in with this perception they know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So rather than decision overload, you say, would you like to have the best return on your money? Yes or no? Yes. Then I'm going to encourage you the 120, because soon as you purchase and begin, you get all of that back. You'd like to get your money back, wouldn't you? Great. Yeah. On the $20, you get nothing back.
Right.
So now you got a $20 expense or a zero expense. Which one, if you're a smart person, like I think you are, which one would you make? So would it be okay if I don't even talk to you about what you get in the program that cost you money? I show you what you get in the program that pays you, that instantly rewards you right back the instant you get started. Doesn't that make sense?
Oh, you are so good.
So I'm not even going to talk to you about that. And if you want to do that, then great. Our conversation is finished, because I'm not going to talk to my friends and say, you need to spend $20. That's ridiculous. Do you know why they make it so small? Because they continue to make tremendous profit off of you, and you just bought into a deduction game. I want you to buy into a profit game.
So if they already, now we passed that because I didn't correctly do what you would have done, and they bought the $20 one. So now they are upset. So now what would you do with them?
Listen,
friend.
So my question is, what if we could erase the $20 and you could go get the 120? Would you want to go do that? Great, go do that. And when you book your first trip, I'll pay you the $20 back for the first one. I'll reward you for the activity. But I'm not going to let you have the company give you 120 and me give you $20 on top of that. You didn't listen to me. That's the price of not listening to me. I will reward you when we book our first trip. We may go together, you may go on your own. But when you use the platform for any benefit that the platform has to offer, and you show me that, I'll send you the $20 in a Starbucks gift card. You'll buy me coffee. I'll be the first one you'll buy me a coffee.
That's very good. That's very good, because I felt like I wanted to give the person back the 20.
No, I'll give you all the money.
I told this person to get that.
Right. I didn't tell you to get that. You argued with me and said, that's all I want. So you paid for the price. Here's the reality. In 5 minutes, you see the difference. Do you now understand why I was really trying to push you to this, and not because it made more money for me? It makes more sense for you. I'm not an idiot. It made me feel like one when you bought the 20. So I'm glad you're seeing this. And now here's what I promise. I promise when you use the program, I'll send you a $20 gift card. It could be for Target. And you may say, keep it, go buy something at Target. But I will say, listen, I don't want you to feel like you missed out. So I would encourage you, use the platform as fast as you can. This afternoon, you could use it.
Yes, that's a good one.
I want to take away, there's no reason to have an argument. And I will make sure we won't have an argument. I'm not going to take money out of my pocket. You have to use the program. And when you use the program and you see the value of it, my God, listen, I learned this from Frank Vandersloot, the CEO of Melaleuca, billion-dollar company. He will give you $200 in rewards, which is the equivalent of your first 4 months of product consumption, only after the 4th month. You have to do all of the activities in the first month. You won't get rewarded till 3 months in addition. Why? Because they did their statistics. If you use their products for 4 months, there's a 98% chance you will stay on it for a year. So I'll give you back the first 4 months, because I know my profit will be based upon the next 8 months. And in that, I make up more than my $200.
Wow, I mean, wow, it's so amazing. I mean, like I said, I need to have your brain.
Well, this is, again, that's why when I say ask these questions, there's a part of my brain you guys haven't even tapped into, because I'm always doing the training. That's when I show up here. What questions do you have? And I know your brains go, I don't even know what to ask. But this conversation where you said, well, I have this to say. Awesome. I love it. It's a great starting point. From that point, we wound up right here to where you now have the confidence to say, listen, the company has a $20 program for those people who want to pay retail price, better than retail price, but you're not going to see the savings, because here's what happens. You're going to be in your back office. I'm going to be in my back office. We're going to be on a Zoom sharing pages, and you're going to be mad at me. Do I want you mad at me? Well, no. So if you see the savings on my platform and yours, plus the 120 came back to you instantly, you got it back in loyalty points.
Yeah. You
instantly got paid. You get nothing back. So do you want something back or nothing back? I want something back. Then let's not even talk about the 20. Let's go with the 120.
Wow. 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 How can I pay you to come on my calls? I mean, it just makes so much sense, and it's so simple. So I am thinking to myself, how in the hell can I not think of this?
Well, because what happens is your default mode network, Silka. Well, I'm struggling in my business, this, that, and the other. No, have fun with it. Listen, can we have fun today in this conversation? Can we have fun? I may have more fun than you because I know what I'm talking about, but can we just agree that we're gonna have fun, and at the end of this, you're gonna go, I'm glad I spent time with you. Is that okay?
Oh, I love that, because I love to have fun.
Yes, I love to have fun. I'm the crazy German. Most of my people strict and very listen. Here's the great news: you get the fun German side of me, and you get the one who's very detailed and will drive you and will hold you accountable. Let's have the fun one right now.
Yeah, because I've been feeling bad for the last 2 days since this happened.
And so the key is that you feel bad. They don't, because they don't know what they missed out on. I mean, yes, they maybe got upset in this, that, or the other, but.
Well, they do. I mean, because they saw what I was able to offer them with my platform. And
so here's what you do. You take a screenshot. Just a very simple screenshot of that platform and this platform, and say, here, this is why we're not going to talk about the $20.
But I don't have the $20 platform, so maybe I need to use their $20 platform.
Sure. Awesome. Take a screenshot of it.
Well, I could not even, now I know for sure how little the return is. I mean, I said, we knew that they would get less.
So here's my point. Why not set up another email account and do the 20? I'm just saying, if it's only $20 and you can avoid the aggravation, you'd pay $20 to avoid the way you felt for 2 days. I'm not saying to do it.
But now I know, because I can take that person's story and say, someone actually wasn't listening to me. And they went and they got the 20, and within a few minutes, they were very upset because I showed them $100 discount on the same hotel, same days, the same room. and the $20 platform only gave them a $7 discount.
So then, so here, rather than all of that, what I would say is, listen, if we pulled up a hotel and you could get $100 discount or $7, I don't think it's rocket surgery. Which one would you choose, $100 discount or a $7 discount? Well, the 100. So is it okay if we never talk about
How the hell are you so good? I mean, I would have just given the entire story.
No, the whole, listen, we've got two platforms. One gives you $100 discount, the other one gives you $7. Which one do you want? I know it seems obvious, but I just need to ask, because I've had some people go, no, I'll go with the $7 discount. And then they get mad at me. I told you 100 versus 7. Which do you want? 100. Then let's just talk about the $120 program. That's it. Because I had a friend who's still mad at me because they only get $7. I said, I told you.
My answer to Jane here, no, you need to practice with Sean, not with me. As you can see, I have to put in the effort to practice with Sean and become vulnerable, I think the word.
Yes, perfectly
in front of everybody and show how little I have grown to compare to his $1 million brain that I still have not fully embraced even in 8 months now. Or
well, but the key is that you're asking now, right? You're not showing up and saying, well, yes, I know that, but here's what, right? So you are being vulnerable, and that is the key to understanding success. Every wildly successful person, the way, when they become most vulnerable is when they lose their first million, when they have their biggest failure. That's how we all become very vulnerable, is when you realize, holy crap, this can happen to anybody. I thought I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Yeah. And
so the key is that if you look at every objection, there is a question that gives a better solution than their protection lever. I want the $20. They're pulling a protection lever that says, I don't understand the 120. Until they get more information, then they're like, oh my God, why would I do? You made me do that. I didn't make you do anything.
No, at least they didn't say that, because they knew I did not make them do that. I specifically said, this gives less, because they asked, is there going to be a difference in, the discounts, because the discounts are the most important part of this entire platform, right?
So do you all have, where does this person live in California?
No, this person is out of the country.
Okay, out of the country. So the example then that I'm going to offer you doesn't really make sense. For those that understand Costco or Sam's, right? The big stores. Listen, if you could go to Sam's, do you know what a membership is at Sam's? Like $90, $80, and then they have the executive one that's $125. Imagine if there was a $20 Costco. And every time you walked into Costco, you see my price, $18, but below it, you saw your price. And instead of $18, it was $25. Wouldn't you be a little upset that you're buying the exact same thing and paying more for it?
Oh, well, I got a discount on my membership.
That's
but it adds up really quickly. I mean, there's just no argument about it.
Yep.
Yes.
So here's what you do with that person who's got the $20. Listen, we need to go into your back office. I will pay you the $20 if you let me take some screenshots so that I can use it in the future to show what the $20 platform is. And I'll reward you for allowing me to take some screenshots, and we can get you started with the $120 program, and you can start fresh. Fair enough?
Yeah, that's a good one, but that's different than what you were saying.
Well, no, but you can still say, listen, and the reward, well, how are you going to reward me? As soon as you use the $120 program, I'll reward you. Don't give them the money, because they got to get started. They got to pay the price for their being stupid. We would call it learning experience, but they got to pay the price and get into the 120 and use the platform. As soon as they do it, I will always reward activity. I'm not rewarding fence sitting. because I can buy the program for 120, get the loyalty points back and never use it. That doesn't work for me. I used to do it. That's how I was $80,000 in debt my first year. I would suggest nobody do that. I will reward you as soon as you use the platform.
Yes, and I did the same thing. So I totally understand what you're saying. I rewarded a lot of people, helping them. They never did anything, not a thing, because they, oh, I have no money. And yes, oh, let me help you get started. I know you'll do a great job. No, that was like so stupid of me. Totally.
Well, it was an experience. You now say, you know what? I'm smarter than that now. That was the best thing I could do then. It's not the best thing I could do now.
Yeah. And so when you say that, I totally relate to that. And I think many people get roped into that if they have the money at the time and, you know, they want to help, especially your
well,
friend.
because our signal is weak and their signal, their resistance is stronger than our persistence and our positive understanding. I went through it. I got a PhD in it, $80,000 a year for 1 year. I paid 80 grand. I decided to graduate from that university very quickly.
That's freaking expensive. That's
it wasn't expensive.
Than Harvard for 1 year. No, but yes, I did the same thing. And I know Shanita always says, don't give people money unless you just want to throw it out window.
Nope, absolutely. And the hard part is that our hearts say, this would be so good for them.
Yes.
Well, what we realize is that if I give you the cure for cancer and you don't take it, it sits in your cabinet, you're still going to have the cancer. And then I feel bad because you won't use it. No, I listen, we've all gone through that. Enough is enough. Are you ready to take? I will reward you for your next step. You got to take the next step.
And even worse, when I paid for these people, then I thought I'd own them. And I tell them, you know, let's do some work. And they get very angry. And I'm like, well, I just paid for them. Well, why are they not working? I mean, if somebody was paying for me, I would be feeling obligated to do the best I could and, you know, help, you know, my business. But they would get angry with me on top of it. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is terrible.
The hell was I thinking?
Yes. Yes, so I can tell when that's definitely a story. I'm right there with you, and I would not recommend for anyone to do that, to really listen to that, because yes, it's not
what it literally comes down to is, you know, if you've ever had somebody who's, for making it easy, an alcoholic. I had 2 alcoholics in my family. And listen, I feel okay, I'll buy you a bottle, but this is the last one. You're going to get well after this. And you just gave them the drug of choice and they didn't get well. And so you're like, well, I keep buying you liquor and you don't get better. When are you going to stop drinking? You know, it's killing you. That's the easiest way.
I would never. That's why I would never give a homeless person money, because that's exactly what they do. That's what if they have a dog, I like to give them some dog food or something, because many of them have a dog. Or a sandwich, because some of them, oh, I don't want that sandwich. I don't like, well, oh my God, you don't want that, then don't eat at all. I eat the sandwich. If I can eat the sandwich, hell, that's fine. You don't have to have the sandwich. So if you have a pet, I like to give something for the pet, because, you know, the pet is very good for them. And you can see they're actually a good person because they have a pet and they care about that pet. They could give the pet to, you know, the where do you put
ASPCA or the dog pound or something.
Yeah, they could just say, hey, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm homeless. Let me put the pet there. No, they walk around with the pet every day. Some of them have the pet sat in the shopping cart because the pet is small. Some are bigger. So I'm always concerned about the pet. Fuck them. I'm sorry.
Right.
But the pet to me is very important. So exactly. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give an alcoholic.
So to use that example, the only reason somebody's going to do your business is for the AKA pet in their life. Really, that's the thing. Whether it's taking their spouse or their kids or going to meet somebody, going to have something, what is the experience? Who's going to benefit from you being a part of this program? Who's your AKA pet in life? Or what is the pet? What is the thing you want to take care of? Do you want to take care of a dream you had? Do you want to take care of a this you had? Do you want to take care of somebody you love? You want to offer them an experience that they never had. I had a friend the other day, this is you speaking, who I was talking to him about travel, found out I did German and bought his bride 10 hours worth of one-on-one German training with me because he loved her and he said, that's what she wants. He's still going to do the travel. We're talking about it, but he bought something else that I had to offer. My question to you is, in this offer, what are you hoping it does for you?
Yes, because I get this a lot. People tell me I'm not traveling right now. And then
Awesome. That's awesome. Do you know anybody who is?
you wouldn't ask them if they want to make some money instead?
No, I am by asking them, do you know anybody that might want, do you know anybody who travels?
All
What
right.
if you could get a thank you from the hotel? What if you could get a thank you from anything, the car rental, from any place they're about to go use in their travel? What if you could get a reward for that without having to book their tickets?
Yeah, because it's simple. They don't even have to book anything.
Right. My point is that when you say, would you like to make money from travel? They instantly go into who makes money from travel? Travel agents. I don't want to do that. This is how the brain works. It tries to go answer the solution. Do I want to make money with travel?
I left travel out of my initial statement.
Right.
For
So
that
do you,
reason, because I've seen that pushback.
right. So the question is do you know anybody who's going to, who's going to want to save on their expenses when they go see their family, when they go overseas, when they go for a trip? Do you know anybody who wants to, would you like to be a hero to people who do travel?
Oh, wow. That's even better, especially if it's a man.
Right. Would you like to be a hero to people who do travel?
Oh, I'm going to write that down. I have 2 pages full already.
And the answer is yes. Great. Then you should offer them this. Now, you can do one of two things. You can be a hero to them and refer them to me, or you can be a hero to them and you take the money. Would you like to be paid as a hero or just get nice thank you cards in the mail?
Oh, you are so good. Oh my God. I could speak 1,000 hours just to load up, but I'm going to give other people the platform now. You have spent a lot of time with me, and I so greatly appreciate you, and I hope that other people on the call
I think everybody gets benefit from this dialogue. I believe
have benefited from this amazing dialogue, because I don't think it's just specific to me. I think most people probably struggling with the same thing. And Jane says she wants to practice with you.
I love it.
I'm rephrasing her question.
I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love it. And so my first question to anybody who wants to practice is, what business are you in? That's the question you have to answer. Well, I'm in the trap. No, if you give them enough information that their brain goes, oh, it's one of those things. And I'm not even talking about network marketing. It's a travel business. It's a wellness business. It's a this business. It's a that business. Do you know how people wish? That's the answer to it. You got to answer it with a question. You've got to force their brain into an opening, into an awareness that what you do is the absolute answer that they need. When somebody asks, Sean, what do you do? You know, my bride doesn't even know what I do. I get asked that a lot by some pretty powerful people. And there's a pause. This is the gravity of my words. I guess how's the best way? I had a way that really explained it well the other day. So this is an ongoing thing in their mind, and their brain is nexting, and they've never nexted in this world right now that I'm in. Yeah, man. Oh, do you know how people really want more out of their day and yet think they don't have more day to do the right things? Do you know how people want more of what they want, and if they could really flip a switch and have a lot less of what they don't? and you watch their head. Yes, that's what I do. I help people have more of what they want. Whatever that is, listen, it may be a reference. I may introduce you to somebody. I don't always have the answers, all the answers. My goal is to help people have more of what they want. Do you know what you want more of? Yep. Do you know what you want less of? Yep. Then we should probably have a conversation. It would make sense, doesn't it? Would you recognize more? Yeah. Would you recognize less? Yeah. Then you'll probably be able to figure out whether I'm telling the truth or not, right? Yeah. When do you want to have that conversation? Now. Awesome. What do you want more of? Great. What are you doing to get that? Who's helping you acquire that? Who do you have on your team that you specifically task them with getting more of that? Well, no one. Well, we could do one of two things. You could hire me or we could work together. Hiring me is 15 grand an hour. Well, what's the price of working with you? That's a decision you have to make. Well, I want to figure out how to work with you. Awesome. Would you like to have a lot of conversation and debate about what it is you got to do, or would you like to start now? I want to start now. Great. It's about $300 to get started. Wouldn't it make sense versus $15,000 to put $300 on the table and say, is this worth it? I can promise you, figure it out very quickly. All right, I'm ready. What do we do? Awesome. Why would you want to do it? Well, you just said I'll have more of what I want. What do you really, really want in the next 30 days? Is it something you want or something you want for somebody that you love and care for? Do you want to take stress away from them? Do you want to give them a gift? Is there something coming up? Is there something you want to avoid? What's the thing what's the thing that's eating your dinner, eating your lunch, eating your sleep? That's driving you nuts. That if you go, God, I just need this answer. Yeah, but I don't know if you could help me with that. Interesting answer, not the answer to my question. If you want to work with me, I'm going to ask you the tough questions. Do I have your permission to help? Yes. Do I have your permission to make you feel uncomfortable? See how I'm smiling? Uncomfortable. Great. Do I have your permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling? Yes. Awesome. So let's go get uncomfortable real fast because you want your return back. You want to make $300 real fast to pay for the startup. Yep. Awesome. What do we got to do in the next 7 days? What are you willing to do in the next 7 days? I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Awesome. So we should get started right now then. Well, what do? I help people have more of what they want. Does it really matter what it is? Does it really matter the vehicle? Are you telling me that you want what you want, but you think you have the qualifications to say, if it's something new, it must not work? Is that what you're telling me? Because if it's something you already know, we both know that's not going to work, right? Yeah. So it's got to be something different. It's got to be something that makes you a little uncomfortable, right? So why are you wanting to figure out what it is so you can say, no, I don't want that? I'm not here to work with the average. I'm here to work with people who believe they deserve an above average life. And if that's you, great. If not, anything else before I go? No. I want more. Awesome. When would you like to start? Now? Great. It's $300. Well, what am I going to get? You're going to get what you want. Well, what is it? You tell me. I'm not a magician. I'm a maestro. I am a master at helping you get what you want. Period. End of story. So there you go. That's my conversations. But you can hear how Signal is absolutely clear. I love you all. I'm your head brain training. Get what you want, Misfit. Have more of what you want, less of what you don't. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. I love everybody. Somebody gave me some Costa Ricas.
Buena
Be
vida.
there. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us all.
And the queen of helping you have more of what you want, less of what you don't, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss
Boss
lady.
Lee, we love you, girl. And little white fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
And I can tell you now with Molly getting a little bit older and she's shedding, there is some gray and black fluffy all over the kitchen. It's funny. All right, everybody. I love you tons. We'll see you all on Monday. Till then,
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.
Thank you, Sean. Love you all. Have a great weekend.
bye for now.